If your dog stretches the moment they see you, right when you walk into the room or step through the door, it might look like a small, ordinary movement. Maybe you smile, maybe you think they're just waking up, or maybe you assume it's a coincidence. But for your dog, that stretch is not random at all. It is a message. A quiet, deeply meaningful signal rooted in instinct, emotion, and the unique bond they share with you. Dogs communicate constantly, not with words, but with their bodies. And stretching, especially when directed at you, is one of the most honest things they do. Dogs don't stretch the same way humans do. For us, stretching is often mechanical. We stretch because we're stiff, tired, or sore. For dogs, stretching is physical, emotional, and social all at once. When your dog stretches upon seeing you, they are often expressing a positive emotional state. It's their way of saying, "I'm comfortable, I'm safe, and I'm happy you're here." This kind of stretch usually happens naturally, without tension. Their body looks loose, their tail may wag gently, their eyes are soft, and their posture is relaxed. This is a stretch connected to trust. One of the most common stretches dogs do is what looks like a play bow. Front legs extended, chest low to the ground, back end raised. When this happens as soon as they see you, it's not about play alone. It's an invitation. Not always to play with toys, but to engage. It's your dog saying, "I'm open to interaction. I feel good around you." This stretch shows that your presence brings them emotional ease. In the dog world, ease is everything. A relaxed body means no fear, no threat, no stress. There's also something important happening inside your dog's brain at that moment. When they see someone they love, their body releases feel-good chemicals like dopamine and oxytocin. Oxytocin is often called the bonding hormone. It's the same hormone released between mothers and babies. When your dog stretches as they see you, their body is physically responding to happiness and connection. The stretch helps release that energy smoothly. It's like a calm overflow of joy. Some dogs stretch when they wake up and then immediately come to greet you. But notice the timing. If the stretch happens after they notice you, not before, it's directed at you. Dogs are incredibly aware of timing. They know exactly when you enter their awareness. That stretch is their first response. Before barking, before jumping, before wagging wildly, they stretch. It's a polite greeting in dog language. Calm, respectful, and affectionate. Stretching can also be a sign of emotional regulation. Dogs, like humans, experience small surges of emotion. Seeing you might excite them, especially if they've missed you. Stretching helps them manage that excitement. It keeps their emotions balanced. Instead of rushing or overwhelming themselves, they stretch to ground their body. This shows emotional maturity and confidence. A dog that feels secure doesn't need to explode with energy. They can greet you calmly because they trust that you're not going anywhere. In some cases, stretching is your dog's way of showing vulnerability. When a dog stretches, they expose parts of their body that are sensitive. Their chest, their belly, their neck. In the wild, animals protect these areas. Exposing them means they feel safe. If your dog stretches openly in front of you, they are communicating trust at a very deep level. They are saying, "I don't need to protect myself around you." There's also a social aspect to this behavior. Dogs learn from early puppyhood how to communicate with their family. If stretching has ever resulted in positive attention from you, even unintentionally, your dog may use it more often. Maybe one day your dog stretched, and you smiled, spoke softly, or reached down to pet them. That moment taught your dog that stretching creates connection. Over time, it becomes part of their greeting ritual. But not all stretches mean the same thing, and context matters. A relaxed stretch with soft eyes is very different from a tense stretch paired with yawning, lip licking, or stiff posture. A calm stretch toward you usually means comfort. A tense stretch, especially combined with avoidance, might mean your dog is trying to relieve stress. Dogs use stretching as a calming signal. If they're unsure, overwhelmed, or adjusting to a situation, they may stretch to soothe themselves. This doesn't mean they're unhappy with you. It means they're processing emotions. When your dog stretches after you've been gone, it can also mean relief. Dogs don't understand time the way humans do, but they understand absence. When you return, their body relaxes. Stretching is a physical release of that tension. It's similar to the feeling you get when you finally relax after a long day. For your dog, your presence equals safety. When safety returns, the body lets go. Some dogs stretch and then slowly walk toward you. Others stretch and wag their tail. Some stretch and then lie down near you. Each version is a personal expression. Dogs have individual personalities, just like people. The stretch is the shared language, but the follow-up is personal style. What matters is that the stretch is directed at you. Their eyes meet yours. Their body faces you. Their attention is on you. Dogs that stretch when they see you are often emotionally balanced dogs. This behavior is more common in dogs who feel secure in their environment. They are not constantly on edge. They don't feel the need to guard or react defensively. Instead, they greet the world with openness. And when you are the trigger for that openness, it says something powerful about your relationship. Sometimes, dogs stretch when you speak to them in a calm voice. Your tone matters more than your words. A gentle, familiar voice can trigger dogs' nervous system. Stretching follows. This is your dog responding to emotional cues, not commands. They're reading your energy and matching it. There's also a memory component. Dogs remember how you make them feel, not in detailed images, but in emotional patterns. If your presence has consistently meant kindness, food, walks, affection, or safety, your dog's body associates you with positive outcomes. Stretching becomes a conditioned response to that emotional memory. It's like their body saying, "Good things happen when you're here." In multi-dog households, you might notice that not all dogs stretch the same way when they see you. Some may rush, some may bark, some may stretch. This doesn't mean one loves you more than the other. It means they express affection differently. Stretching is often the choice of dogs who are naturally calm or thoughtful. It's a gentle form of connection. Age can also play a role. Older dogs tend to stretch more slowly and deliberately. When they stretch at you, it can be both physical relief and emotional acknowledgement. Puppies may stretch too, but often mix it with clumsy excitement. As dogs mature, their greetings often become more subtle, more intentional. It's important to respect the stretch. When your dog stretches, give them a moment. Don't immediately overwhelm them with rough touch or loud noise. Let the stretch finish. This shows your dog that you understand their language. When you respond calmly, you reinforce trust. Over time, this deepens your bond even further. Stretching can also be a bridge between rest and activity. Your dog might be signaling that they're ready to engage with you, whether that means a walk, playtime, or simply sitting together. It's their way of transitioning states. From rest to connection. From alone to together. There's something incredibly honest about this behavior. Dogs don't fake body language. They don't stretch to manipulate or deceive. What you see is what you get. That's why this small movement carries so much meaning. It's not trained, it's felt. If your dog stretches when they see you every day, consider it a quiet compliment. It means your presence brings peace. It means you are part of their emotional balance. In a world that dogs experience largely through instinct and feeling, that's one of the highest forms of trust. And the most beautiful part is this: your dog doesn't even know they're doing something special. They're simply being themselves. Responding honestly to someone they care about. That stretch is their way of saying, without words, "I'm okay now. You're here." Once you start noticing it, you'll never see it the same way again. That simple stretch becomes a moment of connection. A silent conversation. A reminder that love doesn't always jump or bark or demand attention. Sometimes, love just stretches, looks at you, and waits. Small actions are where the deepest truths live in a dog's world. Dogs are not creatures of speeches or explanations. They do not sit and think in long chains of logic the way humans do. Their emotions surface through movement, posture, timing, and subtle shifts in behavior. Because of this, the smallest actions often carry the biggest meaning. A stretch, a pause, a glance, or a quiet lean toward you can say more than the loudest display of excitement. When a dog stretches upon seeing you, that tiny action becomes a window into the bond you share. Dogs evolved to survive by reading details. In the wild, noticing small changes meant the difference between safety and danger. That instinct still exists, but now it's directed toward relationships instead of predators. Your dog watches how you walk, how you breathe, how you speak, and how you move through space. Over time, they learn what each small action means. In the same way, their own small actions are intentional responses shaped by emotion and experience. Stretching is not a random habit. It is a reflection of what is happening inside their nervous system. When a dog feels secure, their body behaves differently. Muscles loosen, breathing slows, and movements become fluid instead of sharp. Stretching is one of the clearest signs of this internal calm. It shows that the dog's body is not preparing to flee, freeze, or defend. Instead, it is resetting itself in a peaceful state. If this happens when they see you, it reveals that your presence does not activate stress or uncertainty. It activates relaxation. That is not something a dog offers lightly. Dogs do not waste energy on meaningless gestures. Every movement has a purpose, even if it looks casual. A stretch opens the body, exposes vulnerable areas, and lowers physical defenses. This means the dog feels no need to protect themselves in that moment. Vulnerability is the foundation of trust. In human relationships, trust is built through words and promises. In dogs, trust is built through the body. A dog that stretches near you is showing you their truth without hesitation. Small actions are also honest because they are difficult to fake. A dog can be trained to sit, stay, or come when called. But emotional behaviors like relaxed stretching cannot be forced. They happen naturally when the emotional environment feels right. That is why these moments are so meaningful. They are not performed for reward. They are expressions of comfort. Your dog is not asking for anything when they stretch. They are simply being present with you. Over time, repeated small actions create patterns. Dogs learn routines quickly, but they also form emotional expectations. If every reunion with you has been gentle, predictable, and safe, your dog's body will respond accordingly. Stretching becomes part of that reunion. It's the body's way of saying, nothing bad happens when you arrive. There is no need for tension. There is no need for alarm. That kind of emotional memory is built slowly through countless ordinary moments. Many people look for big signs of love from their dogs. Jumping, whining, spinning in circles, or vocal excitement are often seen as proof of affection. But these behaviors are usually driven by arousal, rather than calm connection. A stretch, on the other hand, is quiet affection. It shows that your dog does not feel the need to demand attention or manage uncertainty. They already feel connected. Calm is confidence. Calm is security. Small actions also show how deeply dogs live in the present. A stretch happens in the now. It is not about what happened earlier or what might happen later. It is an immediate response to the current emotional state. When your dog stretches as they see you, they are reacting to how they feel in that exact moment. That feeling is shaped by your history together, but it is experienced right now. That is why it feels so genuine. Dogs also use small actions to regulate themselves emotionally. Stretching helps release mild tension and balance excitement. Seeing someone they love can create a surge of emotion, even if it's positive. Stretching allows the dog to process that feeling smoothly instead of letting it overflow into restlessness or anxiety. This shows emotional intelligence. Your dog is choosing balance over chaos, comfort over intensity. The beauty of small actions is that they often go unnoticed. Many people walk past their dog's stretch without realizing what it means. But once you understand it, you start seeing the relationship differently. You begin to notice how your dog chooses calm when they are with you. How they trust you enough to soften their body. How they communicate affection without needing to make noise. This awareness deepens the bond, because it allows you to respond with the same calm presence. Small actions also reflect consistency. A dog that stretches for you regularly is showing a stable emotional response, not a temporary mood. This consistency comes from repeated experiences of safety. Dogs are sensitive to unpredictability. If they never know how a person will act, their body remains guarded. But if they know what to expect, their body relaxes. Stretching is a sign that they become predictable in the best possible way. In a dog's life, trust is not built through grand gestures. It is built through thousands of tiny interactions. The way you reach out, the way you respect their space, the way you speak when you are tired, the way you handle mistakes. Dogs remember how situations made them feel, not the details of what happened. Each small positive moment adds up. Over time, the body keeps score, and stretching becomes a natural response to someone associated with safety. Small actions also reveal how dogs see relationships as emotional environments rather than roles. Your dog does not think of you as an owner in the way humans understand ownership. They experience you as a presence. a source of emotional stability. When that presence enters the room, their body reacts before their mind does. Stretching is an instinctive response to that presence. It happens before conscious thought, which makes it even more truthful. Even dogs that are not outwardly affectionate often show their bond through subtle behaviors. They may not cuddle or seek constant attention, but they stretch, sigh, or lie down nearby. These small actions are their version of closeness. They are choosing to share space in a relaxed state. That choice is meaningful, because dogs are always aware of their surroundings. They choose where and how to exist in relation to others. Small actions also highlight the difference between attachment and dependence. A dog that stretches when they see you is attached in a healthy way. They feel good around you, but they are not overwhelmed. They do not panic or lose control. This shows emotional balance. Healthy attachment is calm, not frantic. Stretching reflects that balance clearly. Understanding these small actions changes the way you interact with your dog. You become quieter, more observant, more respectful of their signals. You start matching their energy instead of overpowering it. This mutual understanding strengthens the bond without effort. The relationship becomes smoother, more intuitive, more connected through shared calm rather than constant stimulation. In the end, what makes small actions so powerful is their purity. They are unfiltered expressions of how a dog feels in your presence. No training, no performance, no expectation, just a body responding honestly to emotional safety, familiarity, and trust, revealing a bond built not through loud moments, but through countless quiet ones that shaped how your dog feels. Every time they see you, every time they move toward you, every time their body loosens and opens without fear, showing connection in its simplest form. Where meaning lives in the smallest movements, where love does not announce itself, but gently appears through the way a dog stretches, breathes, and settles when you are near. Trust in a dog's world is never spoken, never promised, and never demanded. It is offered quietly through moments of exposure and openness. Vulnerability is the language dogs use when they feel truly safe. Unlike humans, dogs do not separate emotional trust from physical behavior. Their bodies reveal everything they feel. When a dog allows themselves to be vulnerable around you, it means their nervous system has decided that you are not a threat, not a source of danger, and not someone they need to guard themselves against. Vulnerability begins with relaxation. A tense dog keeps their muscles tight, their movements sharp, and their awareness constantly scanning. A vulnerable dog softens. Their posture lowers, their movements slow, and their body opens. Stretching, rolling onto their side, exposing their belly, turning their back towards you, or resting deeply in your presence are all forms of vulnerability. These behaviors expose sensitive areas of the body that would never be offered in an unsafe environment. In the wild, showing vulnerability could mean injury or death. For a dog to do this near a human shows profound emotional confidence. Dogs do not decide to trust based on logic. They trust based on patterns. Every interaction you have with your dog leaves a physical memory in their body. The tone of your voice, the speed of your movements, the way you touch them, and how you respond when they make mistakes all contribute to when they feel safe enough to be vulnerable. Over time, if those experiences consistently lead to comfort rather than fear, the dog's body learns that it does not need to stay guarded. Vulnerability is especially powerful because it cannot be faked. A dog can pretend excitement. A dog can pretend alertness. But vulnerability only appears when the body genuinely feels secure. This is why moments of vulnerability are so meaningful. They are honest reactions, not learned performances. When a dog stretches in front of you, exposes their neck, or relaxes deeply, they are not doing it to gain anything. They are responding to how they feel with you in that moment. Many people misunderstand vulnerability as weakness, but for dogs, vulnerability is strength. It means the dog is confident enough to let their guard down. A fearful dog cannot be vulnerable. A stressed dog cannot be vulnerable. Only a dog that feels emotionally grounded can allow themselves to be open. This openness shows that the dog trusts not just your presence, but your intentions. They believe you will not harm them, surprise them, or force them into discomfort. Trust through vulnerability also shows itself in how dogs rest. Dogs are naturally light sleepers in unfamiliar environments. They remain alert, ready to react. But when a dog sleeps deeply near you, stretches fully upon waking, or turns their back to you while resting, they are showing vulnerability through unconscious behavior. Sleep removes control. A dog that sleeps soundly near you believes that you will keep them safe, even when they are defenseless. Dogs also show vulnerability through emotional regulation. When a dog feels unsure, they may pace, whine, bark, or display nervous behaviors. A vulnerable dog, however, allows themselves to feel calm. They stretch instead of reacting. They settle instead of escalating. This shows trust in the environment and in the people within it. They trust that nothing bad will happen if they remain open instead of defensive. Physical vulnerability often mirrors emotional vulnerability. A dog that allows gentle handling of their paws, ears, or belly is trusting you with sensitive areas. These areas are rich in nerves and easily injured. Allowing access to them is a deep form of trust. This kind of vulnerability is built slowly. It comes from repeated experiences where the dog's boundaries are respected and their signals are heard. Trust through vulnerability is also visible in how dogs approach interaction. A dog that leans into you, rests their head on you, or presses their body gently against yours is offering closeness without fear. They are allowing you into their personal space while remaining relaxed. This is different from a dog that crowds or jumps due to anxiety. Vulnerable closeness is calm and unforced. Dogs also show vulnerability through choice. When given the option to move away, a trusting dog chooses to stay. They remain near you not because they are trapped, but because they want to be there. This choice is a powerful indicator of trust. Vulnerability is never forced. The moment it is forced, it disappears. True vulnerability only exists where freedom exists. In moments of stress, a dog's vulnerability becomes even more meaningful. If a dog seeks you out during a thunderstorm, fireworks, or unfamiliar situations, it means they trust you as a source of safety. They are allowing themselves to be emotionally exposed, seeking comfort instead of hiding or fleeing. This shows that your presence has become associated with relief rather than control. Trust built through vulnerability also changes over time. Puppies may show vulnerability easily, but it is fragile. Adult dogs show vulnerability more selectively. If an adult dog offers vulnerability consistently, it means that trust has been reinforced again and again. This kind of trust is resilient. It is not shaken easily by small changes or mistakes. Dogs that have experienced trauma often struggle with vulnerability. Their bodies remain guarded even in safe environments. When such a dog begins to stretch, relax, or expose sensitive areas around you, it marks a significant emotional shift. It means their body is slowly rewriting old survival patterns. This kind of vulnerability is especially meaningful because it reflects healing. The way you respond to vulnerability determines whether it continues. If vulnerability is met with rough handling, loud reactions, or unpredictability, the dog will retreat emotionally. If it is met with calm presence, gentle touch, or simply quiet respect, trust deepens. Sometimes the best response to vulnerability is to do nothing at all, allowing the dog to exist peacefully without interruption. Dogs are constantly evaluating safety through their bodies. They do not analyze relationships through thoughts, but through sensations. When vulnerability appears, it is because the dog's body has decided that it is safe enough to soften. This decision happens below consciousness. It is instinctive, automatic, and deeply honest. Understanding vulnerability changes how humans interpret dog behavior. Instead of focusing only on obedience or excitement, attention shifts to comfort and emotional openness. A quiet stretch, a relaxed posture, or a soft exposure becomes more meaningful than loud affection. These moments reveal the depth of the bond without requiring attention or validation. Trust shown through vulnerability is not dramatic. It is subtle, steady, and deeply rooted. It grows from patience, consistency, and emotional safety. It lives in the spaces between actions, in the moments where nothing is demanded and nothing is expected, where a dog allows themselves to simply be open in your presence, where their body speaks freely without fear, where trust is not proven through action, but revealed through softness, openness, and the quiet courage it takes for an animal to let their guard down in a world that once taught them to protect themselves.